Welcome to Intuitive Flow. I'm your host, Mikaela Filar, intuitive energetic healer, medium, entrepreneur, and mindset mentor with the mission to help you step into your fullest potential by giving you the tools to rid yourself of limiting beliefs, love yourself unconditionally, and create the reality that you dream of living. It is time to transform your mindset, get unstuck, and step into the highest frequency version of yourself who has unshakable confidence. I am even answering your juiciest questions regarding all things intuition, manifestation, personal development, self-love, self-image, and helping you work through your dilemmas, intuitively guiding you to expand your mindset and level up in life. So turn up the volume and get excited for this intuitive flow. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Intuitive Flow with Mikaela Filar. Today's episode, we are diving into signs that you might be ignoring your intuition and what you can do about it. Okay, so before we get into that, I have to chat with y'all about the Black Friday sales that are going to be dropping next week. The first day is Monday, the 25th, and these deals will be live until 11:59 p.m. Cyber Monday. Okay, so this is going to be literally the biggest sale that I have ever had, and it will not be something that you want to miss out on if you have had any pull to dive into working with me in any capacity. All of my courses, Glowed Up, Aligned AF, and I am even opening my intuition training camp again for levels 1 and 2, opening that up for enrollment. These courses are going to be discounted at prices that will blow your freaking mind. If you don't know, Glowed Up is my 6-week self-love and self-image mastery course. Aligned AF is all about the universal law of reflections and becoming a master over it so that you can create a life that is the most aligned and fulfilled with you. And you can see the signs for what they are, shift them, heal them, and all that good stuff. I will also be discounting quantum leaping over obstacles. And you guys, if you didn't know this, I am going to be doing another quantum leaping over obstacles class. There are limited spots available, but I will be discounting that as well for Black Friday. If you don't know what that is yet, it is a mini intuitive read class where you have two options. You can either ask me any question that you'd like for me to intuitively channel for you, or you can also have me just look in on your energy, see if you have any holes in your creator field, specifically around anything or what you are desiring to obtain or where you are trying to be in life. And it's just going to be a great time. So, really cool thing about that class is that anytime you are in these classes, you are aligned to hear what the other students are asking. So it's basically like getting a full 1 hour intuitive read for a fraction of the cost. But talking about full blown hour intuitive reads, I'm also going to be discounting, or well, not discounting, but I'm going to be giving you a special offer when it comes to booking with me one on one for an intuitive energy healing session. And I am even offering 2 spots for mentorship at a rate that will literally have you screaming with excitement. So, with all that being said, make sure you keep an eye out on my stories and my website for all of the details because you are not going to want to miss this Black Friday sale. Okay, so let's get into it. The question from one of you beautiful souls today that I am answering is, how do I know if I am disconnected from my intuition? Oof, this one hits home. But the reason I will get into later on this episode. But here's the thing. You are never disconnected from your intuition. You are never disconnected from it. It is always there with you, and it always has been. We are all born with intuition. However, some of us have been listening to it, and some of us have been ignoring it, which will in fact make us feel like we are disconnected from it or stuck because we don't feel like we know what to do next. Okay. So I'm going to go through a few tall tale signs that you are ignoring your intuition and some things that I did to get connected, get so connected to my intuition, and then begin to become a master over intuition to get my intuitive answers down to an actual science, read people's energy, and essentially, obviously, create the business that I am now working, that I now have. Okay. So here are some telltale signs that you are ignoring your intuition. Number one, the reflections are reflectioning. If you cannot seem to catch a break, that is because your higher self is trying to send you signs that you are not in alignment with who you desire to be or where you desire to be. So you keep getting hit with challenges, and the more you ignore them, the bigger and more inconvenient they become. Okay, so what I mean by reflections are reflectioning. If you don't know what reflections are, you should definitely go to my last episode that I posted. I did like a short clip on Aligned AF. It kind of goes into explaining what exactly reflections are. Long story short, they are gifts, I say, from your higher self to help you get into alignment with what you are desiring or where you are desiring to go. So if there's anything in your energy field that isn't in alignment with what you are desiring, your higher self will send you reflections or lessons to help to get your attention so that you can be like, oh, like, okay, I need to shift this or I need to heal this. And then once you shift and heal that, you grow in consciousness, right? Like we're all here as souls to grow in consciousness and to gain what I like to call soul points. So when we're gaining soul points, it means that we're gaining consciousness, which means that we're growing as a soul, which is our entire purpose, our entire collective purpose. Okay. So if you are constantly getting reflections and you feel like you cannot catch a break, it's because your higher self is trying to tell you something and you are not listening. You are ignoring it and it doesn't want you to ignore it anymore. So I promise you, life will get easier if you start to tune in and listen to your higher self and to see the reflections for what they are. So, how to start to do that is asking yourself, where in my life right now are things happening for me that are inconvenient? Notice how I say for me, not to me, because everything is happening for us to help us get to where we desire to go, right? So asking yourself, what is happening in my life currently that is not the vibe, and what can I learn from it, right? How am I supposed to learn from this experience? Then you can hopefully shift and heal and grow, and you don't have to get that reflection anymore. And if you're really interested in seeing the signs and catching them, big or small, so that they don't have to become more and more inconvenient, definitely check out my course, Aligned AF. Okay, plug. Black Friday plug. Number two, you feel indecisive or stuck. The truth is, you know what to do. There just might be a part of you that is afraid of making the jump that your intuition is telling you to make because it is outside of your comfy zone. We all love to be bundled up and inside of our comfy zone, but I am here to tell you, and I'm sure you've heard it before, that nothing good happens in your comfy zone. You got to get out of that bitch. You got to get out of it. We have to make the decisions that might be harder, but we know that in the long run, they're going to help us get to where we want to go. So if you are feeling indecisive or stuck, but you do know what to do, like you have a feeling that you know what to do, but maybe it's scary, maybe it's uncomfortable, maybe not everyone's going to agree with it, maybe everyone's going to call you freaking crazy. Do it. Please do it. I promise you, incredible things are going to happen from it. And that is you trusting your intuition. And the more you trust your intuition, the stronger that intuitive muscle gets, the louder that voice becomes, the less reflections you have to endure. Number three, you keep getting sick or something is up with your body that is simply not the vibe. You guys, our body is constantly communicating with us when we are not in alignment. Our higher self sends us body reflections to get our attention. A lot of us really care about our body. A lot of us really care about our health. So if we aren't listening to the other types of reflections, like smaller reflections, then our higher self is going to give us reflections in the form of body ailments. If we have emotions that we are not processing, it's going to manifest into our physical body as something that is simply not the vibe, or maybe it's an illness. If we are working down to the bone and we are burnt out, but we just keep pushing because nobody cares, work harder, got that toxic masculinity, right? Get out of your masculine, get into your feminine, find the balance between the two, put yourself first. Self-love and self-image is the key to living a life that feels aligned and flowy and good and comfortable, but like also maybe a little uncomfortable because you got to get out of your comfort zone, but you're going to have the courage and the confidence to make those moves that you know you need to make, because you know that everything is for a reason, and that that uncomfortable decision is going to help you get to where you are desiring to go. If something is happening in your body that is simply not the vibe, it's your higher self communicating with you, it's your body communicating with you. Figure out what exactly it means. This is also something that I'm teaching inside of Aligned AF in Module 4. We're going to be talking all about the body, reflections in the body, what they mean, how to decode them so that you can shift and heal them as well. I mean, you guys, like I have gotten reflections in like body reflections by, I'll give you some examples of this because I know it can be kind of hard to wrap your head around, but like I've gotten sick multiple times because I was so much so in my masculine energy and I was just going and I wasn't putting myself first. I wasn't prioritizing myself. So my higher self made me slow down by making me sick. So I literally physically could not do anything, right? I had to rest. That's a common one I see with most people. Another interesting one was back in the day when I was with my ex-boyfriend. I got a lot of UTIs. I went through like a whole phase where I had BV and UTIs and it wouldn't go away. And I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I never had experienced that before. And I was like, why is this happening so often? Like, why can't I get rid of it? What's wrong with me? And I went to so many doctors. I took so many rounds of antibiotics and nothing ever worked. It always came back. And there is the minute, maybe not the minute, but like a month after I had broken up with that ex, I didn't experience that anymore because that relationship was no longer in alignment, which I knew in my higher self, my intuition had been telling me that for months and months and months, honestly, longer than that. But I was ignoring it because I had a lot of self-worth things going on. I was really worried about society and the fact that I was turning 29 and that I was getting older and that I needed to get married and have kids by a certain age in order to be approved or be looked at as success. Like I say all of this and I'm like, bleh, literally gross, ew. Because that is not the ultimate truth, right? We are all on divine timing. Coming back to this, the reason I was experiencing that was it was just my body's way of being like, this is not the guy. This is not it. And you know it's not. You gotta make the uncomfortable decision and you gotta break things off. And as soon as I did, I have not had an issue since then. So yay for that. But you guys, our body is constantly communicating with us, okay? Number 4, overwhelmed by fear or anxiety. You allow the fear of the unknown to cloud your judgment, making it hard for you to hear your inner voice. You guys, this is something that I really struggled with. So I know the feeling of being overwhelmed by anxiety. And what is anxiety? Anxiety is just a fear of the future, fear of the unknown, fear of what could happen. But here's the thing. If you know that everything is happening for you, if you have radical self-trust, meaning trust in yourself and trust in source, right? That you are on the right path, that you are, no matter what, going to step into your power and to get to the path that leads you to your desires, right? To your desired reality. You know that you're making the right choices. If you do that, as opposed to being overwhelmed by fear and anxiety, which makes you feel stuck, which makes you question every move, which makes you overthink everything. Like this was literally me to a T. And the moment that I learned that everything is happening for me, it's not happening to me. and that I have no control, we all have control over, like, we do create our reality, right? Our energy, our creator field creates our reality. But if you've got anxiety and fear radiating off of you, then you're going to get more reasons to be living in anxiety and fear. So I had to unlearn, right? That to like have such a tight grip on what was going to happen in my future. I had to release the grip. I had to let the water flow so that my garden could grow, the flowers could grow. I had to stop stomping on the soil so that my flowers could grow from the soil, as opposed to being so fixated on what's going to happen. What should I do? What am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about that? And just started to like relax and like trust my inner guidance and ask the right questions that I needed to ask source, higher self, to get the answers that were specific to me so that I could get on the path that I was desiring to be on, so I could be in alignment with what I desired for my life. That's when things started to change. So if you are riddled by fear and anxiety, remember that everything is happening for us, not to us. Try and release your grip on what the future is going to look like for you. Trust the knowing that it's going to happen and it's going to be amazing and it's going to be everything that you could have ever dreamed about. I mean, think about like where you are now compared to where you were a year ago. Think of all the growth that you've made, right? Whether it's emotional growth or intellectual growth or financial growth, think about all of the growth that you've made in this last year. Be proud of yourself, right? Give yourself some more credit. Stop being so freaked out about what's going to happen in the future. That's out of your control. All you can do right now is control your own energy and trust the knowing that you got you. You got you, source got you, higher self got you. Like you are supported. You are divinely supported. You are loved. You are always taken care of. You always have everything that you need and more, right? So trust that. And I understand that it's not possible to just always be positive, right? That's not what I'm preaching here. What I'm preaching here is when you feel the highs, you know that there are also lows. And when you feel the lows, trust that everything's going to be okay. I always use the example of like when we were in high school and we used to, think that the world was ending when X, Y, or Z happened. And then, you sit back now and you just look back on those days and you laugh because it really wasn't the end of the world. Everything ended up turning out exactly the way that it needed to. And you probably learned a lesson from whatever it is that went down, right? So just trust that inner knowing, listen to your higher self, listen to that inner knowing of everything is going to be okay no matter what. There's always a silver lining. Trust that. Okay. But doing some exercises that I have done to help me with my anxiety is one, just sitting in silence, right? Like meditation has helped tremendously when it comes to easing my anxiety. Also achievements, clocking micro moments, my achievements has been helping so much. I have a note in my phone. It's called achievements, and I clock every single achievement every single day of like business, relationship, literally anything. Like I can't think of all the things that I've written down, but like all of the things that I have achieved that day, big or small, I write those down in that little note. Okay. And that has helped because even big or small, like it could be, I made my bed this morning, or it could be, I recorded a podcast and I posted it, or it could be, I got a promotion at work, big or small, right? Like big or small, you always want to clock your achievements because oftentimes we just go through the motions and we're not giving ourselves enough credit. So celebrate yourself, give yourself enough credit, pat yourself on the back for how far you've come, and keep going and stop living in fear and anxiety because that is no way to live. That's how they want us to live. That's how the powers of that be want us to live, because when we are living in fear and anxiety, we are easily manipulated, right? It's easy to control people who are living in fear and living in anxiety. So we've got to knock that shit off. We just got to take a deep breath and breathe and let it go and let it flow, honey, because it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be good. Okay. Number 5, relying too much on other people's opinion, not just of yourself, but of literally everything. You might seek validation often or advice often instead of trusting your inner guidance, leading to self-doubt and confusion. You guys, I was also I was at the queen of like all of these things. But if you are just seeking outside of yourself for everyone else's opinion or, not trusting what you feel is right, that is not the vibe. Like, what is right. That's why you had that idea in the first place. Go for it. You don't need a permission slip, honey. Just do it. Just do what feels right for you. Not everyone's going to understand you, and that's okay. They're not meant to. But you have to do what is meant for you and what makes you the most happy, and what makes you the most excited, what makes you the most lit up, right? Stop seeking advice or validation outside of yourself. You're giving away your power when you're doing that. Somebody who is an empowered version of themselves just fucking moves. They don't care about what other people are thinking, right? They don't care about how they are perceived by others because they are so rooted in who they are and what they bring to the table that it doesn't matter what anyone else says or thinks, right? So we've got to get to that place. Stop relying too much on others' opinions of your choices, of your decisions, of your life. Okay, number 6, frequently saying yes when you really mean no. I know we're all guilty of this one. All right. Stop ignoring what feels right for you. Stop prioritizing people pleasing other people. It leads to burnout or resentment. And we don't need that. We don't need to feel burnout or resentment. That sounds absolutely terrible. If you are not like, hell yes, then guess what? It's a hell no. Remember that. And trust that people who understand that you have boundaries, or maybe that you're not feeling your 100%, or maybe you just need a freaking night to yourself or a day to yourself. If they can't understand that, then they're not for you. Move along. You're growing. They're not. Right? Okay. Number 7, struggling to trust your decisions. You regret your past choices and doubt your ability to make decisions moving forward. You guys, let it go. Again, the past is the past. The future is unknown, and the right now is a present, right? It's the present. It's called the present for the reason, because it literally is a present. You've got to stop dwelling on things that have happened in the past, because 1, everything's happened for you. 2, you learned from that, you grew. You're probably not the same person you were whenever you made that decision that you might be regretting. And anything that you quote unquote feel like you failed at, or you quote unquote fucked up, you didn't fuck up. Everything is happening for you. Everything is on purpose for a purpose. Everything is for a reason. Whether you learn from it, whether you had to go through kind of like a dark night of the soul situation in order to become a new version of yourself that you are now, that you are today. Like, you've got to just let that go and trust that you simply cannot fuck up. That's actually one of my core values, is I simply cannot fuck up. Like, that is a core belief, not value, core belief. I simply cannot fuck up. Like, all the decisions I make are absolutely perfect because everything is perfect in the eyes of Source. So if they're perfect in the eyes of Source, I can say that they're perfect in my eyes as well. Trust your decisions. Let go of the past. Heal. Move forward. Move through life with an open heart. That is the best advice I could give you. Move through life with an open heart. Have boundaries, right? But move through life with an open heart. Don't let your past dictate your future. Don't let your past dictate your present. The more we hold on to things that have happened from our past, and if we allow that trauma to affect our choices, then that incident, that decision you made, that feeling of I fucked up, is going to dictate your future. And it's not going to be the future that you are desiring for it to be because you're holding on to something from the past and that's just not serving you anymore, right? We got to let it go. We got to trust that everything was for a reason. Everything's on purpose for a purpose, and you just got to move forward. Number 8, if you are feeling disconnected or unfulfilled, you might go through life on autopilot, disconnected to your emotions, your desires, and your purpose. You guys, I see so many people living like this, and I don't get it. If you have a dream, if you have a desire, something that you want to go after, get out of your own way. You are the only one that's in your way of creating the life that you are desiring to live. You hear stories over and over again about people who have gone from rock bottom to successful entrepreneur or building the business of their dreams or creating the life that they desired, like that they dreamed about for so long and it finally happened. They had their bamboo moment. Right? If you are on autopilot, if you are disconnected from what you are truly wanting your life to look like, you gotta listen to that inner guidance system. You got to make the uncomfy choice, right? You gotta do what you feel is best for you. And you got to get in alignment with what your soul is here to do, with what you are here to do. And your whole life will change. It'll be great, I promise. There might be a little bit of turmoil. There might be some pushback, but overall, you're going to be really happy that you did it. Number 9, last but definitely not least, a pattern of unaligned outcomes. You notice that things aren't turning out as you had hoped because the choices were not aligned with your true self, meaning that you are making choices based off of what everyone else thinks or says that you need to do. And because you didn't listen to your intuition and you listened to Betty, right? Just coming up with a name here. Your life is like you woke up and your life isn't even your own. That's what happened to me. That was like my turning point, right? I woke up one morning and I was like, holy shit, my life, I don't even feel like I'm here because I want to be here. I'm here because I thought that it was what's going to make my friends and family happy. I'm here because I wanted to be married and with kids by a certain age. Ugh. Right? Like everything is happening on divine timing. Everything is happening for you. So if you just keep finding yourself in these situations that are like not the vibe, it's because you're not listening to your intuition. It's because you're not trusting yourself. And you've got to have that radical self trust if you want to live a life that feels the most aligned with yourself, no matter what anyone else says or thinks. That's just bottom line. So these are some of the biggest signs that I could think of right now that basically shine light on the fact that you are ignoring or not trusting your inner guidance system. Your intuition and your higher self is literally your 24/7 life coach. And when you can get in tune with them, your life will become a lot easier, a lot more flowy, and the anxiety will fall to the side because you have trust in yourself and trust in source and trust in your path. Are we seeing why getting connected to your intuition is so freaking powerful? I know what it feels like to be out of touch with your intuition. I've always been intuitive, right? We all are born with it. We are all born with intuition. I don't care what anyone says. If somebody tells you that you don't have intuition, run the other way because they're lying straight to your face. We all have intuition. Okay? We all have it. It's just some of us have been listening and some of us has been ignoring it. So you've just got to get back in touch with it. That's all. I know that it's absolutely draining to be out of touch with your intuition because you're constantly overthinking, constantly questioning yourself if you made the right or wrong decision. And you're constantly seeking outside of yourself, giving your power away to people who are outside of you, right? To help you with where you're going in life, which that shouldn't be anyone else's job besides your own, right? You should be the one creating your reality. You should be able to trust yourself. You should be able to trust in source. You should be able to just easily be like, oh no, this is a decision I'm making. I trust myself. I'm doing it, right? 100% of the energetics, 100% of the physical, which is the action, right? So I decided to train my intuition because of that story that I was telling you guys about, just waking up one day and feeling so out of alignment and like, oh my God, like this needs to change. I had like a dark night of the soul situation. We all know, if you've been here on the podcast for a while, if you know my story, you know what that was like. So it's like, once I truly decided to step into the chat with my intuition and my higher self, that's when my life started to change, because that's when I started to get downloads and just have these ideas and get creative and just like, know, like, this is my path. This is how I'm meant to help people. And whether it is like that you are wanting to start your own business, or maybe you're wanting to go after a whole new career path and you're afraid, but like you have this like feeling inside of you that's just like what you're supposed to do. Like, you have to trust that feeling, right? You have to get in touch with your intuition. Intuition will help you create the life that you are desiring to freaking live, the life that you are meant to live. Training your intuition will help you get there. And lucky for you, I have taken everything that I have learned about honing in on my intuition over the last 2.5 years, and I have thrown it into a mastermind space where you guys have the opportunity to become a master over your intuition. If you're ready to step into a life that feels flowy and effortless because you have the tools to get your questions answered in a way that is the most aligned with the outcome you are desiring, my mastermind space is for you. Awaken Intuition Training Camp is a space I've created to empower you by becoming a master over your intuition and your life. Become a master over your creator field, which is the energy that radiates off of us, that's handing out the script to people to treat us certain ways, to the experiences that we experience, the situations that we find ourselves in. Getting in control of your creator field through help with your higher self and your intuition is literally the fucking key to creating the life that you dream about, you guys. Enrollment is opening on Black Friday, and it is the best deal that you will ever see, literally ever. And we begin our first live class is going to be January 3rd, 2025. You guys, I absolutely love teaching intuition. I have so much fun doing this. I cannot wait to do this. This is the second round of Awaken. This is the first time that I've labeled it a mastermind space. That's because you're going to get the community of peers to practice with. You're going to be in it for, it's either a 3-month or a 6-month commitment where we are training live classes. This is not a recording. You are in sessions with me every Friday, training your intuition so that you can become a master over your energy, a master over your creator field, a master over communicating with your higher self, with your intuition, with source. And you guys, it's just the best. So I really hope to see you in there. And if you have any questions, as always, DM me on Instagram at Mikaela Filar. That info is also in the show notes below. And I'm so excited to hopefully see you inside that. And I hope you like this episode. If you did, make sure you screenshot this, share it to your Instagram story, share it to a friend, let the world know about my podcast so that it can get into the hands of who it is meant to be in. DM me, let me know how you like the episode. I love hearing from you guys. Like and save and share this if you are on YouTube. All the things, you guys. Leave a rating and review. I love you. I appreciate you so much for being here, for listening, and get connected to your intuition. If you are not going to join my intuition mastermind Awaken, then the least you can do is please start to trust yourself. Start to do the things that I mentioned throughout this podcast so that you can at least begin to strengthen that intuitive muscle, because intuition is just like a muscle and it grows, it strengthens. You are able to hear it louder and louder every time, the more that you use it in your day-to-day life. So if you are interested in becoming a master at this, if you're interested in taking control over your life and your creator field, Awaken Intuition Training Camp is the space for you. Okay? I love you. I appreciate you. As always, we will chat soon. Bye.